Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the Speak English with Bible podcast, your favorite comfy spot to practice simple English with natural, friendly conversations. I am David. How was your day today? I hope it was peaceful and full of really good moments. But if you are feeling a little tired or overwhelmed right now, just take a deep breath because you are in the right place. Have you ever looked at a giant problem in your life and thought, I am just too small to fix this? Or maybe you looked at your own skills and felt like what you have is simply not enough. I know I definitely feel that way sometimes. We live in a fast world that constantly asks us for more. People expect more money, more talent, and more energy from us every single day. And when we look down at our own empty hands, it is so easy to feel discouraged. We often believe that our tiny, daily efforts won't make any difference at all. But what if I told you that small things have incredible power? Over 2,000 years ago, a massive crowd of people faced a very similar feeling of emptiness and physical hunger. They had followed Jesus into a quiet, remote desert place near the beautiful Sea of Galilee. They wanted to hear his comforting words and experience his gentle, healing touch. But as the sun started to go down, a huge practical problem appeared. There were no markets, no restaurants, and absolutely no quick solutions around them. Thousands of men, women, and children were completely starving after a long day. Jesus' closest friends, the disciples, were panicking because they only had a tiny, insignificant amount of food. It truly seemed like an impossible, hopeless situation. But what happened next shows us that our smallest gifts, when given with a willing heart, can turn into the most breathtaking miracles. Are you ready to see how a little boy's simple lunch changed everything? Let's dive right into today's amazing story. The story begins on a busy, tiring day. Jesus and his disciples had been working so hard, helping sick people and teaching them from morning until night. They were absolutely exhausted and really needed a quiet break. So they hopped into a small boat to cross the beautiful Sea of Galilee. They were heading to a peaceful, lonely place just to rest for a little while. Have you ever felt that tired, where you just want to run away and hide in a quiet room? Well, the crowd of people noticed exactly where Jesus was going. They were so hungry for his comforting words and his healing power that they didn't want to let him go. So they ran along the shore, traveling on foot from all the nearby towns. By the time Jesus' boat finally arrived at the quiet spot, a massive crowd was already there waiting for him. Wow! Can you imagine expecting a peaceful vacation and seeing thousands of people waiting for you? If it were me, I might have felt a little bit annoyed or frustrated. Ugh! But Jesus didn't feel annoyed at all. When he stepped out of the small boat and saw this huge crowd, his heart melted with pure love and compassion. He saw them as lost sheep without a shepherd, totally wandering and needing deep care. So, instead of taking a nap, he welcomed them, healed their sick, and taught them many beautiful things. The hours passed quickly as the people listened to his gentle voice. Before anyone knew it, the sun started to sink very low in the sky. Evening was coming fast, and they were in a completely empty, deserted place. Now, Jesus' disciples started to get very nervous and worried. They looked at this giant ocean of people and they realized a huge practical problem. There were about 5,000 men there, plus thousands more women and children. The disciples walked up to Jesus and said, "This is a remote place and it's getting very late. Please send the crowds away right now. Let them go to the nearby villages to buy some food for themselves." It was a very practical, logical idea, right? But Jesus looked right at them and said something completely shocking. He said, "They don't need to go away. You give them something to eat." Oh! The disciples were probably totally speechless. Philip, one of the disciples, quickly did the heavy math in his head. He said, "Even if we worked for 8 whole months, we wouldn't have enough money to buy even a tiny bite of bread for all these people." Philip was focusing only on the big numbers and their extremely empty pockets. It felt totally impossible. Have you ever faced a giant mountain in your life that felt just too high to climb? Then, another disciple named Andrew gently spoke up. He had been looking around the big crowd, and he noticed a young boy. Andrew brought the little boy to Jesus and said, "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish." 5 flat, hard pieces of bread and 2 tiny dried fish. It was just a poor boy's simple, cheap lunch. Andrew quickly added, "But how far will that go among so many thousands of hungry people?" Think about the young boy for a second. His mother probably packed that simple lunch for him early in the morning. He could have hidden his food to protect it, right? Because he was surely very hungry too. But instead of hiding it, he freely offered his little lunch to Jesus. He didn't worry about how incredibly small it was. He just gave it away with an open heart. Andrew saw the tiny lunch, but he couldn't see how it could possibly solve the giant problem. He felt completely helpless. But Jesus didn't see it that way at all. Jesus smiled down at the boy and calmly said, "Bring them here to me." He didn't complain that the food was too small. He didn't say, "Is this all you have?" Then Jesus told everyone to sit down on the soft green grass in groups of 50s and 100s. The noisy crowd settled down, wondering what was going to happen next. It must have been such a beautiful, peaceful sight in the golden evening light. Jesus took the 5 little loaves and the 2 small fish into his strong hands. He looked up toward the darkening sky and he gave thanks to God. He prayed a prayer of deep gratitude for this tiny, simple meal. After giving thanks, he began to break the loaves. He handed the pieces to the disciples, and he told them to pass the food out to the hungry crowd. He did the exact same thing with the 2 small fish. And then, the most unbelievable miracle happened right before their eyes. As the disciples passed out the bread and the fish, the food simply did not run out. It kept multiplying over and over again in their hands. Wow! Just imagine the shocked look on the disciples' faces. They kept reaching into their wooden baskets, and there was always more fresh bread and more fish. The food traveled through the entire massive crowd, reaching every single person. The bread was fresh, and the fish tasted amazing to the starving people. Children were laughing, and parents were smiling. Everyone ate until their tired stomachs were completely full. They weren't just given a tiny, polite bite to survive. They were deeply, totally satisfied. When everyone had finally finished eating, Jesus told his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted." So, the disciples started walking around, picking up the remaining food from the grass. Can you guess how much they gathered? They filled 12 large baskets with the broken pieces of bread that were left over. Ah, 12 heavy baskets from just 5 little loaves and 2 tiny fish. The young boy gave everything he had, even though it seemed so small and useless. And Jesus took that tiny, willing gift and used it to feed well over 10,000 people. It is a beautiful story that completely blows my mind every single time I hear it. It shows us that when we give our small efforts to God, He can multiply them into something huge. We just need to give what we have with a joyful, trusting heart. Before we think deeply about how this beautiful lesson applies to our own daily lives, let's look at some important English expressions from the story. I picked out some incredibly useful words just for you. So, get ready to practice speaking out loud with me in our fun word workshop. Welcome to our word workshop. It's time to look at 7 beautiful words and expressions from today's story. Are you ready to practice speaking out loud with me? Let's go. Our first word is exhausted. It means being very, very tired, just like Jesus and his disciples were. Repeat after me. I'm completely exhausted after work. She felt exhausted after the long trip. Our second word is compassion. It means having deep love, pity, and a warm heart for someone who needs help. Repeat after me. He showed great compassion to the poor man. Thank you for your sweet compassion. The third word is wander. This means walking around slowly without a clear direction or feeling a bit lost. Repeat after me. We like to wander around the quiet park. The little dog was wandering in the street. Word number 4 is remote. This describes a place that is very far away, isolated and quiet. Repeat after me. They live in a small, remote village. I want to visit a remote island to rest. Our fifth expression is give away. It means to freely offer something you own to someone else, just like the brave little boy did. Repeat after me. He decided to give away his old books. She loves to give away warm cookies. Word number 6 is multiply. It means to grow, expand, or increase into a much bigger amount. Repeat after me. Our joy will multiply when we share it. The bread started to multiply in his hands. And our seventh and final expression is left over. This simply means the extra things that remain after everything else is used or eaten. Repeat after me. We have some delicious pizza left over from dinner. Please put the leftover food in the fridge. Wow, you did an absolutely amazing job practicing those words with me. I'm so proud of your beautiful effort. Now that we have these beautiful words in our hearts, let's take a peaceful moment to reflect on what this story really means for our lives today. Think about that young boy walking home that evening under the starry sky. He gave away his tiny, simple lunch, and because of his open heart, thousands of people experienced a breathtaking miracle. Jesus didn't need a massive bakery or a huge amount of money. He just needed someone willing to share exactly what they had, no matter how small it seemed. Maybe you feel like your English skills, your daily energy, or your talents are just too small to make a difference right now. But please remember that God can take your small, honest efforts and multiply them into something incredibly beautiful. You don't have to be perfect, rich, or powerful to be used by Him. Just bring your 5 loaves and 2 fish to Him every day with a trusting heart. Your tiny steps of faith are planting wonderful seeds for miracles you cannot even imagine yet. If today's story brought a little peace and comfort to your busy heart, please subscribe to the channel and leave a warm like on this video. I would absolutely love to hear your personal thoughts. Tell me in the comments below, what is one small thing you can offer to God today? Also, please don't forget to check out our community tab for the fun weekend shadowing challenge. Practicing these beautiful stories out loud together is the absolute best way to make your English sound natural and confident. It is already time to say goodbye for tonight. Sleep well, keep your heart open, and always remember that your small efforts truly matter. I will be right here waiting for you next time, so until then, take care and good night.